Today we're talking about sales. So if you're in sales or going to be in sales, this is a good video for you. I've got one of my salespeople joining me. We're going to be discussing how she transitioned from corporate America, doing MLM marketing, multi-level marketing, and then became an auto broker about 1 year ago, how that's working for her and what's been successful. And we're going to talk about that right now. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you don't miss anything when we go live or we drop a new video. All right, salespeople, I've got Bonnie Simon with me today. Bonnie has been an auto broker at Auto Search USA for the past year. How's it going for you?
I love it.
She loves it.
I love it.
So in this video, we're going to talk about her and what she used to do, and then transition into trying to become a salesperson, and then transitioning into this particular position. It didn't just happen from corporate America right to this. She tried some other things. So we're going to talk about those things and what was successful and what was not, and how she's working on growing herself right now. Is that fair?
Sounds great.
All right. So let's get a little backstory on Bonnie. So what did you go to college for, Bonnie, and where are you from? Tell everybody what's up.
Oh, well, I'm from Cleveland, which before you start to think about Cleveland, it's a very nice place to live.
Ah.
And I went to school for both education and information technology.
Wow.
So I'm coming from a completely different place.
So you want to be a teacher and do IT?
Yeah. I started out wanting to be a teacher and then realized that having 24 fourth graders in a classroom was a little more than I could handle.
Okay.
And so that's how I got into IT. Was I wanted something that was I wanted something that someone would hire me to do.
Yeah.
And also something that was logical. I just did well with logical things. So
all right. It was. Great. I love that answer.
Thanks.
All right. So what did you do after college? You didn't get right into sales, right?
No, not at all. Let's see. Well, so after graduate school, which is where I learned information technology, I got a job with a big corporation. And I worked there for 10 years in their information technology department, doing different kinds of things. Sometimes I was a programmer. Sometimes I was like the person that managed problems and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, but still, I mean, it had its own pieces of, that were similar. That when you want people to fix something and you only have influence, you don't have any control, there is a certain amount of selling that goes on, but it was a different kind of outcome.
Okay, cool. So, Bonnie, don't be bashful. I mean, you have a master's degree. So did you do that all at once, or did you go get your your undergrad and then you did bachelor's later?
No, actually, at one point my father said to me, if you don't go back to school and finish college, you'll probably never go back to college.
Anybody have that dad out there?
Well, I'm just very contrary. So when he said that, it pretty much guaranteed I would go back to college.
Right.
And I did. It took me about 5 years to get through with some breaks, and then I had a couple of jobs, but that just didn't work out the way I needed it to. And then I wanted to make more money, so I figured the way to do it was to go to graduate school. And at the time, it was in the 90s, so there was just a big demand for people in IT. So I figured I had kind of a knack for it, and it made sense to go back to school. And if you're going to go back to school after you've got a bachelor's degree, you might as well go get a master's degree rather than getting another bachelor's degree. So that's what I did.
All right, so you got a master's in computer science, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, now tell me, how many years did you apply that master's degree and work in your field before you were like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore?
It was probably about 8 years, but I stuck it out for 10.
Really?
So, yeah. Well, I mean, you know my story. My husband died in 2008, and that was about 8 years, and then I just kind of lost interest in information technology because you're constantly having to learn, it's constantly changing, you're constantly having to learn new things, and I just wasn't interested in it anymore. And I had just sort of lost interest in the corporate world as well, so I felt like I was stealing from my employer, so I quit.
Really?
Yeah, because I was so uninterested. It just wasn't fair, they were paying me, they paid me well, and I just didn't want to do it anymore.
So you quit before you got this sales job. You were just like, you stopped one thing before you decided to do something else.
Yeah. I mean, I had the opportunity to do that. Not everybody does, but
right.
I had the power to quit, and so I quit.
That was the end of that.
Yes.
Okay, so your corporate life ended what year?
2011.
2011. Mm-hmm. All right. So moving on in time, you got the master's degree, you've worked for corporate America for a decade. You're like, this is not for me. what was your first sales gig? I mean, when did you decide? I mean, who out there goes, I want to do sales? None of this college is working out. Right.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
I was just telling somebody about that this morning. She said, what do you do for a living? I'm like, well, I guess I'm a used car salesman.
You own it.
I own it. That's right. That's right. Well, so I quit and I didn't know what to do. So I was trying to start a business doing it had something to do with CSAs and food and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I discovered a lot of things, that there are a lot of pieces to it, and I didn't know how to do any of them, and that I could potentially pick the one that I liked the best, and try to learn as much as I could about it. So sales ended up being that thing. That I had gone from being a food person to a writer, but of course, if you're going to start your own business, you have to be in sales. So, so I needed to learn. How to do that. So my first experience was with BNI.
Okay.
And that was, of course, very helpful. And then that's when I got into network marketing. I got into network marketing because there's a locally made product, and I was writing a blog about locally made products.
Okay.
And so they kind of fit together. But then I realized that I could make a lot more out of it than just selling a few bars of soap.
Wow. So you were starting to piece this together about, wow, I want to do something that fulfills me. Sales is where it's at. I think this is what I'm going to do. And you kept starting to add things to it.
Kind of. It's in a way, it's a funny story. And it doesn't go where you expect it to go. That we were reading, have you ever read Napoleon Hill's book?
Think and Grow Rich?
Think and Grow Rich. Yeah. So he's got this section in there about affirmations and goals, and so my friend and I we wanted to do the whatever's in the book.
Right.
So we were doing these goals, and we had picked these goals, and I was affirming them every day. I will make $10 million by the time in 2035, and like,
which is still a goal.
It's a goal.
Yeah.
So I thought it was crazy. I mean, I was like, whatever, Heather's going to do this, so I'll do it too, but this is crazy. And what I learned was that affirmations, I'm not a big believer in magic. They don't just make it happen.
Yeah.
What they do is they make your mind start looking for examples of how this could be done.
It amplifies it.
It amplifies it.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I had been working with this local network marketing company, and they had a conference in Denver. So I went. And in Denver, I met people who were making as much money as I was trying to earn. Now, this had never...
$35 million?
They were making like $20,000 a month.
Okay.
And this is not a big company. This is not, one of the ones that's like international or anything. It's mostly in Colorado, a little bit around the country. But people were making all this money. But the important thing to recognize as we're talking about this is that I had never thought in a million years that there was a way that there was no path. There was no path forward. The only way I knew how to make money was to get a job. And the
only way you knew how to make money was to get a job.
Exactly. And I'm good at getting jobs. I'm really good at getting jobs. I can get any job I want. Well, I don't know if that's true anymore, but I'm good at it. So there was just something really important in that little bit of information, like, oh, there's other ways. This, even though you hear that network marketers, like it's all a scam, blah, 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 people actually do make money.
Yeah, I've got several people that I know that make a lot of money in network marketing. Even some of the best writers like Robert Kiyosaki writes, if you want to get good at sales, do network marketing or multi-level marketing because it's really hard.
Yes, it is.
Right.
But it's fabulous. Like, it's really hard. But if you're not afraid to work, that's the important part. You got to be not afraid to work and not afraid to try things that you haven't tried before.
Right.
Then you practice. Like, they teach you how to do it, and you practice, and you do get better. Yeah. People do learn how to do these things, and they do make more money. It's most people. It's just like most realtors never sell a house.
The 80-20 rule is effect everywhere in the universe, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. But it's not easy. I mean, it was very difficult, and you're kind of doing it on your own. It's not even like when you have a sales job and somebody's encouraging you. It's like you do it or you don't do it, and if you don't do it, nothing happens.
Great. So how long did you picked up this network marketing gig? Mm-hmm. Now you're going to be an entrepreneur. Now you're going to sell this product. How long did you do that?
Well, I still do it.
What?
Oh, yeah.
That was 2011 or 12?
No. It took a long time. It was probably 2016 or 17 before I came in, before I discovered all of this network marketing.
So it took about your 5-year hiatus, and then
Yeah, I mean, for 5 years, I wrote about locally owned businesses,
Okay.
basically. I mean, and that blog is still there. It's Hungry Chicken Homestead. You can still look at it.
Okay.
But I did not know how to make money out of it. That was the problem.
Ah.
I never was able to monetize it, or I'd still be doing it.
Okay.
I found, maybe around 2016, I found this the network marketing, and so I, for probably 3 years, really worked hard at it. And went to couple different companies. I tried some different things. I learned that you need about 4 years of consistent hard work in one company to really
reap
the big
the
time.
rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything, you're just planting seeds for years.
Right. So, and I haven't done that, but it doesn't mean I won't. And that's when what I found was that I was pretty good at selling the products.
Yeah.
But I was not so good at encouraging people to join the teams.
Building the business.
Yeah. That takes another level of sales skills that I didn't have.
Yeah, there's always working in the business and then on the business.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to try to find a way to master both of those things.
Right.
At all times. I'm still not a master of it, and it's been a very long time.
You could have fooled me.
Yeah. Yeah, fooled you. But still, yeah, in the business, on the business. That's great.
Right.
So that was 2016. You joined me
2019.
in 2019. So what happened the last 3 years? You were just kind of floundering and...
No, I wouldn't say I was floundering. I was just getting better. I was getting good at selling a product.
Okay.
On my own. And these are inexpensive products. So we're not talking about something that was... We're not talking about a car, and we're talking about shampoo. So
okay.
it's hard to make, if every time you got to sell a lot of shampoo to make a living, basically.
Right.
And I wanted to make money faster, but I also wanted to learn that next level of sales skills, and I was having trouble finding a place to learn it.
Ah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no mentor, nobody, no team, no people to talk to every day.
Exactly.
No growth. The foundation is important if you're building something, guys.
Yeah.
Like your environment foundation, like every day you go to work. Trent was talking about this at our growth meeting. Like, you got to have a good foundation, or you just flounder.
Yeah. Yeah, or you
die on the
learn very
vine.
slowly that there's a lot of training out there, and I probably took all of them. And there's a lot of opportunities to practice, but at some point you need somebody to do little postmortems with, to say, well, I tried it this way and this is what I did, and they say, oh, well, why don't you do this next time, and then you try that, and at some point I think you need. I don't know if some people are just naturally good at it, but it seems to me that at some point you need a mentor, a live person mentor to help you.
Every super successful person will tell you that, won't they? Every time you read a book or look at it, you got to have a mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're not that easy to find all the time.
No. Okay. Well, cool, Bonnie. Thanks for bringing us up to speed on what you were doing when you decided to leave corporate America with your master's degree and not pursue that corporate field anymore, but do something else, and figure it out that you think it was going to be sales. Now, tell them how you met me. It's a crazy story.
It's a funny story. I'm very interested in sales, how sales works. So I would take all the classes, and I'd think of questions in my mind, and then I would. At one point, I put a question, I put some stuff up on a whiteboard, and I did a video, and I was asking, well, what do you guys think about this? And at the very end, I said. And when I say, what do you think about it, I don't mean used car salesmen. I mean sales for, ethical salespeople. And
I was sitting at my desk with that video on the screen, and I typed in the comments box, what are you talking about, Bonnie? I'm a car salesman.
So I naturally called immediately to apologize.
I don't even know if she got my number. But yeah, she called me.
I just looked up auto search.
Continue.
So taking us back again a little bit, that a couple of years prior, I had bought a car from an auto broker. And while I had been saying to anyone who would listen that I would never take another job, I'd rather live under a bridge than work for somebody else again, and somewhere in that conversation, Ronnie said, I happen to be hiring. So I applied, and then I came in for an interview.
Yeah, now fast forward a year. So it's been a crazy ride. That's really how it happened. Mm-hmm. I think a week later, you were going through the process of getting a license.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I already knew that if this opportunity had come up, I would have wanted to try it. I just had to decide if I could work with you.
Right.
And it's
vice versa.
Out very well. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. So that's up to speed on how you got with me. All right, let's talk a little bit about your first year in business.
Okay.
I know it's up and down. I know it's crazy. And I kind of want to make this video really about how you acquire clients, because what we've noticed recently when you're training salespeople and bringing them up in your business, it's really got to be small bites.
Yeah.
Right? I take for granted how much I do, And when I'm trying to teach it, it becomes like this tidal wave of information. And so we slowed it back down, right? We're like, just work on acquiring your clients and work on your meeting prep, work on this or that, and keep it very simple, but then add things to it as we go through time.
Right.
So tell them a little bit about your first year, your ups and downs, and when you knew you were going to be successful. I remember that day. You're like, I can do this. And I'm like, I know you can.
Okay, good. Well, it's been a very exciting year. I like to learn things, so it's been good for me. It took me about 3 months, I think, to bring in the first client who was really serious about selling cars. And what I had done was to try to like pull goals. I said to Ronnie, like, how do you do this? And so we talked about meeting 35 people a day or something like that. And so I set myself a goal.
We struggled with that number for a long time. It was almost the end of the company.
It was, yeah, that's true. So I set myself a goal to have 24 coffee meetings a month. And I have to admit that I joined a BNI almost immediately, and BNI makes me look like a prospecting genius.
Right.
But that's just because people know me and they see me a lot, and they, I go to the trouble of trying to get to know them, and I think that went a long way. I did learn a lot about how people do business and why they do business with the people they choose to do business with.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do, when they say people do business with those they know, like, and trust, it's really true.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And so she's been working on client acquisition, which is going out and networking and bringing in clients. She also has to learn, product knowledge. She has to learn pricing. She has to learn trade-in. She has to learn leasing. Leasing, we did like 90 days on that, figuring that out, right?
Yeah, we did.
It's been a crazy journey. So I think the video is getting a little long, so I wanted your story out there. I think we'll bring her back and we'll discuss her journey as we move through life and continue to add to that story.
Okay, that sounds good.
But you too can be an auto broker, even if you've got a master's degree and you don't want to work for corporate America again. We got living proof that you can make it. Now, were you profitable this year?
Yeah, I think so. I made more money this year than I did in the prior, since I quit my job.
There you go. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist like Bonnie.
I'm not actually a rocket scientist to that side. But you can read about it. I have a blog called BonnieSimonSays.com, and a lot of what I write about is my experiences here.
Wow. Okay. So great. Thanks for joining us today. You guys, we're going to have business tips like this going on all year long, and she's going to do car reviews. I'm going to do car reviews with them. We're going to have Chrissy do car reviews.
Car reviews for petite people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. These cars fit people that are 5'2". Who would have known?
Right.
So
yeah, that's right. I drove that Jeep around all day yesterday. Drives beautifully, but it's really big.
Yeah. Check out these other videos if you want to catch some more tips on car buying or business tips. We'll have those out there for you. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Guys, have a great day. I'm Ronnie Haskins. This is Bonnie Simon.